Okay, here we go. Another video of production line. Let me just set things going. Got a lot of cool stuff to talk about. I have no research going, so I'm just going to set some research going. Okay, so we changed some stuff last time. Some stuff that was sort of much talked about and some stuff that was pretty last minute. I'll talk about the stuff that was kind of like much talked about and much kind of like and kind of anticipated. So marketing, we did actually put in campaigns last time, and I want to know what people thought about them. So we've had the ability to put down the marketing facilities before, but now we've actually got marketing campaigns in, so you can promote particular through particular media your brand. And first of all, you have to do the research, so let's just go through. So I've done marketing. I haven't actually done any of the sub research. I'm going to do print marketing actually while we talk about it. So that was one of the things that people wanted. They wanted marketing in the game. They wanted us to get on with that, and we've done that now. But we've only done part of it, so we've only done marketing that covers your entire brand. So if we go into here, so currently brand awareness is 0, and once I've researched that and once I put down the facilities, we'll see that sort of working in practice. I really want to know what people think. Is marketing too effective? Is it not effective enough? Is it too expensive? Is it too fiddly? What do you think about marketing as it's in the game at the moment? There's a lot more to go in because we want to do marketing for particular models apart from anything else, and we're probably going to have a lot more variety in terms of the campaigns you can run, because there is an enormous amount to marketing in the real world, and I'd like to expand on it in the game, so I'd like to know what people think about that. Something else that we put in very last minute, well, not that last minute, and you can see it in this old save game because it's kind of ruined this save game, and I'm sorry about that, is that we have these like defined office areas. So you can see here I've got all these like research places, blah blah blah. I can't now put a research place there. If I go to, let's go to marketing actually, I cannot put marketing anywhere except in the office zones, which are green. Now, because I'd already started this game, they're in very inconvenient places, so it only really makes sense if you start a new game, unfortunately. I have a little bit of a bug here that I'm working on, if you spot it, where it says no route to stockpile, and there actually is a route. I think it's only with very large layouts when you load a game under certain circumstances. I haven't really tracked down exactly what's causing it yet, but if I... pretty certain if I was to get rid of that and then redo it, I think... oh no, I can't, because that's why. Anyway, so we have like these defined areas now, where you can put offices, and you can only put offices in those areas. And I know it's annoying if you've already got a map, but I do want to know whether or not once you get used to it you like that system or not. I think it makes the game harder, and I think it makes the game more interesting, but obviously it's ultimately something that only the players can talk about. Since the last version, obviously we've been doing new stuff. We've got new achievements that are going to be coming, and we have some exciting new stuff. Before, let me just check if there's other new things. Blah 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 blah. Oh yeah, we did quite a lot of balancing. So if we look at, for example, this place here, which is fit arches, we've done extra robots 1 and 2. So we've upgraded, so we've now got 6 robots instead of 2. This used to be a lot cheaper. It's now $5,200 to add the last lot of robots. I think I could double that again actually, but I'm interested to know what you think. I want it to be an interesting decision, because the problem is when you're really into the game and you're doing quite well and you've made loads of money, it becomes a no-brainer. You're just like, robots, more robots, 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 robots. And I want it to be a more interesting decision, so we've made those robots a lot more expensive. We've also changed the prices of a number of features. So we've changed what they're worth to the player, and also how much the resources cost, and how much time and all the rest of it takes to implement certain features to make them kind of harder to put in. But the most interesting thing, I guess, that we've done very recently is, and this isn't in the current version, this will be in 1.28, is we have a new type of car. Look, we have a 4-wheel drive car. How cool is that? This is where I really need to ask people what they call these things, because in the UK we would call this a 4x4 or 4-wheel drive, kind of an off-road vehicle. And I don't know what it's like where you are, but in the UK there is a lot of kind of jokes and kind of sarcasm about off-road vehicles and 4x4s, because they're very middle class, like wealthy owners thing, and they say that the average 4-wheel drive car only goes off-road when it goes into a supermarket car park. So they're kind of a bit of a status symbol and a bit of a kind of, oh look at me, I've got a 4-wheel drive car. This is the basic one. If I put the sunroof in, all mod cons, look, we've got spoilers and everything. We changed the design of spoilers, thought they looked a bit ridiculous and went with that instead. If I put in, what's it called? In-car music there, that's just to get the aerial. They also have a spare wheel and bull bars, but I haven't fully implemented them yet. But they do go in. I'll have leather interior as well, although it does make a difference, yeah, it will do. So anyway, this is a new vehicle. So we call them 4x4s, or maybe an off-road vehicle. A lot of people would call them a Land Rover or a Jeep, but that's obviously a brand name. And I get the impression that in America they tend to refer to all-wheel drive instead of 4-wheel drive or 4x4. And I asked a friend of mine what they call them in Germany, but obviously it's in German. So the problem is we have to kind of share terminology in this game with British and American when it's in English. So, for example, in England, the top of this bit here, bit on top of the engine, is the bonnet. In America, it's the hood, and in America, the back bit of the car is the trunk, and in the UK it's the boot. And I think you say windshield in America and we say windscreen, and I think I am actually going to have to end up with a British English and American English option, because generally speaking American gamers are not very tolerant of British English. They just think you're wrong, which is kind of interesting because, you know. Anyway, so yeah, so we have 4-wheel drive cars now. So I'm just going to add a whole bunch of those, and then we'll zip through it to see them being built and everything, which should be fun. So that's building an SUV. Does that not change? No, it doesn't automatically update, does it? Actually, we've got that rendering bug there, I think. So we'll let that go through so we can see them getting built. So yeah, we have a bit of a problem there, don't we? Well, let's just delete that for now. Don't really need that. So yeah, 4-wheel drive is going in, and this will actually cause a little bit of problems. At the moment, I haven't put the research in, so it's automatically unlocked, but you will have to research it. And the problem that it causes, to some extent, although this is going to slow things down, is here in the marketplace. I need to change this so it automatically fits. Yeah, okay, let's do a bit more research. Let's do TV marketing. Because I don't know if you spent much time here, but you'll notice that there is a kind of like total market share. So at the moment, if we ignore 4-wheel drive, you'll notice we've got compact cars, we've got sedans, we've got SUVs. So for example, those are the 3 styles of car. And then we have budget, mid-range, expensive and luxury. So that gives us 12 different kind of areas of car. And the assumption is that people, for example, think, I want a mid-range SUV. I've got this amount of money and what I want for my needs is an SUV. So they'll go to a car showroom and they'll think, oh, I'm only looking at mid-range SUVs. And the assumption in the game is that you do not vary that. You do not go to buy the mid-range but think, actually, I'll buy an expensive one. Or actually, I wanted an SUV, but actually the sedan's quite nice. So we are basically sticking customers into these sort of like buckets. Yeah. Now, we just added four-wheel drive, and we're going to add sports car as well, and we'll probably add some more as well. We'll almost certainly add more. Because people really like the variety. So the minute we add another one, we've then got 4 styles and 4, so we've got like 16 divisions of customers. So any customer that walks into the showroom, if you give equal weight, which we don't, but if you did give equal weight, 15 out of 16 of the customers that come in and see your car aren't even vaguely interested, even if it was free. So I think I need to put some like fuzziness in there and make that a bit more interesting. So maybe there is a slight fuzziness on budget. Maybe I should model the budget of each individual customer and give them a plus minus. So they walk in and they're at the upper end of mid-range. So they're looking for a mid-range car, but they may consider an expensive variant. So they might look at 2 types of car. Or maybe there's a slight fuzziness between SUV and all-wheel drive and stuff like that. So in other words, we'd be modelling the customers being a bit more flexible in the kind of car that they want. I think that would be interesting, although a nightmare to code. And these things aren't so much difficult to program, but they're difficult to get across to the player. How do I represent that? And this is the big problem, yeah, because if we go here, let me just pause this so we can take a look. So if we look at this compact GTI X, so a mid-range compact, we have stats here on the customers. So 652 customers have looked at this specific car. 23% think it's the price range is too low. They're looking for something luxury or expensive. 46% were looking for something budget, and 31% it was the right budget for them, presumably, but it was the wrong body style. They weren't looking for a compact car. They want an SUV or an all-wheel drive or whatever. So you get all these stats, but I wonder if all these stats are completely useless. Because all what we really want to know is it overpriced? Is that what we think or not? Because this is another way, really. This is another way of saying how kind of like niche a car is. So we had one there a minute ago. There we go. Here's another compact GTI mid-range. So here, 537 people looked at it. It hasn't been in the showroom as long. 22% price range too low. 46% price range too high. 31% wrong body style. 0% poor value for money. So that's actually 0 point something or other. There we go. 1% poor value for money. And I don't think that stat is very helpful. I think I need to change that. I need to ignore all the people who aren't in the market for this and just show you how many people didn't think it was good value for money, and maybe not even as a percentage. I don't know, because I'm looking at that and I'm thinking this isn't very helpful. And although you kind of want to give the player loads of stats, you don't want to distract them. Something else I should point out, because it's confusing people, is if you look here and you see uninstalled features, that means the current design for that car suggests that those features should be fitted, but they haven't been. Now that might be that they've gone down the wrong route on your layout. It might be that you haven't actually set the slot to be enabled with that feature, or it might be that they were made before you defined that. So the minute you go in here and you say, oh, all sedans should have air conditioning, any cars currently on the production line that are past the air conditioning point, they're still not going to get air conditioning and they're still going to end up in the showroom. So when you change things here, you will have a few of those. I hope that makes sense. But anyway, so I'm interested to know what people think about this, because the information on how few people want a mid-range compact is here. Compact mid-range, 8.75% of customers, and we currently have 150 customers per hour, which brings us back to marketing. So if I go here, blah 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 blah, I run a print brand awareness campaign, or do TV. Last time I showed you this, it didn't work, which is of course my fault. And now it works. So it's 182%. We have 21% brand awareness. We have an extra 32 customers per hour are showing up. So we should be able to shift more cars generally, and that's how marketing works. And you know, there's a limited duration. So that's fixed. It works now. Let me just see if we can now see some four-wheel drive vehicles. Yes, we can. Don't know if you can see those, but these are all four-wheel drives. How far have they got? Have we painted any yet? I don't think we will have painted any yet. So we've got the same problem here. That explains that bug. So if you suddenly get this no route to stockpile, it's because the route is going over at offices. I know that's a huge pain, but I think it makes the game better. Oh, there we go. There we go. That is a painted four-wheel drive. Do we have any with wheels on, with everything on? I really like the four-wheel drive design. Yeah, we've got a few. We've got a few here. There's an orange one, a green one, a white one. Kind of cool, I think. One thing I should point out, because it wasn't immediately obvious until I did it myself in my tests, but if you look here, if you look at where is it? If you look at the market thing here, and you see like four-wheel drives, total market share 10%. These are wrong. I haven't set these yet. But for example, 10% for four-wheel drives here, 10% for this, 10% for that, 10% for whatever. These will actually be different, okay? What you should be doing is you should be matching these where you're producing the car. So down here, where we go to here. Oh, by the way, I've changed this, so you can now edit these directly. So you can do this, should you wish to. I don't know. I'm not very happy with my edit boxes. So you can do that, and it should, yeah, and it should remember it. So you don't have to keep deleting and re-adding and stuff like that. I fixed that. So these numbers should not all be the same, because they should reflect the demand. You don't want to produce loads and loads of luxury cars and hardly any budget cars. That won't make any sense. I wonder if I should have a way here of looking up the current demand, or should the player have to work it out? I think the player should have to do that bit of work maybe. Anyway, so yeah, the big thing is four-wheel drive cars are in there. I think we added some new tech as well. Did we add new tech? Go away, whoever you are. Folding wing mirrors and heated wing mirrors. That's quite a thing. No, that did go in. That did go in. Anyway, so I hope you like the new stuff. I'm sorry about breaking everyone's save games with placing the office stuff, and there'll be lots of exciting stuff, including maybe some new achievements in the next build. This is Production Line. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you next week.